Waiting for people to come in. As soon as I see people on that number counter, I'll get going. Takes a minute or two. Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about, hopefully it's not too windy here. Let me know if it's too windy for talking. All of this rock, everything you see here, is rock I found in creeks. And that's mostly what I work, is rocks I find myself in creeks while fishing. What's going on, Spencer? So it's not the best quality material, but you can make some pretty cool stuff out of it. Yeah, it's good. It's good if you're used to working it. A lot of it has freeze damage and stuff in it, but you could work around it. It's got some pretty good flakes. I have not really bought rock in about 10 years now. Everything I work is stuff I find. Or stuff that's given to me. Wow, that wind picked up quick. Alright, I'll keep napping. Hopefully it doesn't get insanely windy. I'll give it a minute. That is a big gust of wind. Wow. Okay. Oh, so tonight, up here in Vermont and other places, there's going to be northern lights visible again. So I'm excited for that. It should be late tonight. I have to pick through this whole pile, pull out the good stuff before I leave this location. The rest I'm gonna trash. That's good. Blow dart size. I'm trying to make knives, and if they break because of the creek material, then I make an arrowhead. And if that breaks, then I make a blow dart. I'll slow down a little bit. The wind has me sketched out. Damn. Alright, I'll keep working the other side then. Some of these pieces are not the best, but like for little points it's really good. For larger points, sometimes not so much. It just depends on how much freeze damage is inside the piece you're working. It's good for blow dart. Kind of going fast. I should slow down. Not too concerned about the wind. If you're going fast, you waste material. You wind up breaking more. See if I could just make an arrowhead out of this one. In one of my very first how to find flint videos, I found this stuff in a creek in a giant cobble. And in that video, I'm wearing a bright red t-shirt. So if you're interested in what this stuff looks like in creeks, that's the video to go find. Trying to make a quick preform here. Get the indirect stick out. Everything I use, like the Ishii stick or the boppers, all the tools I use are in the product description. Product window, I should say. Just look for products, click that, and you'll see what I'm using. Some of the stuff has like limestone in it, so that makes it a little tougher, but it also makes the rock tougher if you're going to use it for hunting or anything like that. Trying to get as many of these blades and arrowheads done before I move my RV. We're going about 4,000 miles, 3,500, something like that. It's starting to get real cold up here in Vermont. I'll try to avoid the winter. This has a little bit of problems in it. You can see the little freeze line right in there. We'll see if we can work around it all. Sometimes you could work around it, sometimes you can't. See, like that cleared out a lot of it. There's still 2 lines in there, but it should hold together. There's a line here. Get rid of that. See that? Weirdness in there. That's all right. Maybe I should be using a heavier billet. Yeah, limestone in the tip. You can nap some types of limestone. It's just really brittle. This material itself is Onondaga Chert. This piece is a little rough. I'm still going to try to get something out of it. Let me use a heavier copper billet. All right. That flake came right off there. Thinned it out. That's some of the limestone. This side looks pretty nice. It's nice colors and stuff. Does this one smell like oil? It smells really strong, like petroleum oil. This stuff from New York. It's everywhere in creeks. That's perfect for making arrowheads. Stone tools, knives, and whatever you need. Especially if you find a good piece, good chunk. Make a really nice knife out of it. Flake's really nice. Razor sharp. Just got to work around the freeze stuff. Thinning it out, shaping it. The parts with limestone are a little more brittle than the pure chert, but it still works pretty good. Try to run a big flake here. Nope. Try again. That's a little better. All right. Let's start thinning it down if we can. There's some. How many of you guys find your own rock and go hunting with it? I think I might put up a poll to see how many people do this now. Quite curious. Still got to thin down by the base quite a bit. The tip is screwy with that limestone. Try to thin from this section here. There we go. Thinning near the base is dangerous. See if I can make a nice little archaic looking point here or something. When I say point, I mean arrowhead or spear point. Let's see. This is coming a little loose and getting bent. It's getting there. Let's see if we can not break it. Spoke too soon. Okay, next piece. That's what happens on a live stream. So this piece is pretty big. You could say it's like, where do I even start on this thing? Try to take off that bottom piece there. Oop. Put that to the side. Alright, I'm going to try to knock a flake off here and see if I can make an arrowhead from the flake. That's what I've been doing with this stuff. I mean, it's pretty good. This might make a nice knife. This piece here. I don't see many flaws in it. It smells very strong of petroleum oil. Super nice flakes. This is like pristine Onondaga. Nice flakes. Alright, I'm going to switch to the smaller billet and just try to make a quick knife out of this. If I could get rid of this limestone stuff here, I'm good to go. Look at that. Perfect for a blow dart. Save those. Saving anything that it looks like I could use for an arrowhead or a blow dart. You can see the limestone in here. So we're going to have to get rid of that as best we can. Nice flakes. Alright. This piece does not feel too brittle, so it should hold together. See how it goes. This stuff is all over the place in New York. Like literally all over the place. See it in parking lots, creeks, rivers. This whole spot is messed up, so I'm going to try to get rid of most of it. Knock away that limestone. You see it there? It's a good example. The stuff forms in the limestone. Okay. Gonna try to get rid of this flake here. This stuff smells so strong, it's crazy. Almost went all the way. Almost went to right there. Same thing there. Let's see if I could get some of this out with the indirect stick. So I don't want to create a whole bunch of hinges in there. Try again. I'm going to try from right here to run a very big flake. There we go. That did it. Keeping the flakes. Cleaned up a lot of those hinges and stuff. Okay. Got the other hinge right in there. Okay. Wonder what's up with this piece that it's hinging in there. Strange. This stuff really flakes nice. This is crazy. This probably has the least limestone I've seen in a chunk of Onondaga. There's not much at all. And that's allowing the flakes to fly pretty far. If I could keep this held together, it's going to make a nice knife. Do you have a knife and that's why you're do you not have a knife and that's why? No. I actually just made one out of this stuff, but I really just like to make knives, especially out of stone. Probably if I complete a knife out of this, I'm probably either going to sell it or give it away. This piece here needs to go. And then there's a little hiccup right there. Usually just use wood or antler for a handle. On the knife I just made, I put it on moose antler. It's cleaning up pretty good. It's getting a little thin. I'm getting nervous. Let me try to get rid of this. See that hinge in there? I'm gonna try to run a flake up that way. Yeah, I'd have to run inside and get it. If you don't mind for a second, I'll go do that. Be right back. Right back, right back. Keep an eye on that for me. Don't let me lose it. Alright, I got actually the past two knives that I've made. This is the Onondaga that I'm working now. This is elk antler, I think. This is the first piece I napped out of this rock, and this one is not as good material. It's called Hathaway Chert. This is in creeks in Vermont, and that's on a moose antler. Side by side. Got them about the same thinness. I'll put those down here. Alright. So the spot I gotta hit. Can you do a cut demo? Yeah. I'll actually do that right now. I've been doing it with the hide that I have here. This piece is not the best. It's super tough. So hold it with my leg. Can you guys see? Pretty sharp. Tanned hide. Okay. Now where did my billet go? Getting a huge pile of flakes out here. Gonna wind up start losing stuff. Alright, so I want to try to get rid of this freeze crack right in here. So I'm going to work on that. It's kind of in a sketchy spot. I'm going to take some flakes off the opposite side. Grind it so that it strengthens it a little bit. And I'll try indirect first. If that doesn't work, I'm going to have to hit it with a billet. Almost got it. Went to right there. Try the next platform up. Use a heavier billet. That got rid of some of it. There's still a little bit right in here. Let's see if I could pick that out. Sometimes if you rest the flaker on it and you hit it, it could knock those little spots out. That's gonna bother me. So I'm gonna make this the tip of the knife and this the base, I think. We'll see how it goes. That is, if it holds together. Hopefully it holds together. Alright, I'm gonna try to hit right in here. Run the flake along that again. See how it goes. Yeah, it's harder for people to hit like on the live streams for this format here. I don't know why, but it's apparently hard to find. So I've been told. Alright. I'm actually going to try a smaller bopper. I'm going to hit right into here. Got it. Ooh, there's some weird thing in there. Fossil. Was a fossil, now it's dust. Man, it's got some weird stuff in it. Every tool I'm using is in the product list. I keep getting questions about that. It's because people stay on the stone rather than to the channel and onto the live, then double tap it and like it. I'm also currently filming upside down, so it's easier for me to film, but it's harder for me to read the comments. Losing light pretty quickly here. That's the other reason I'm heading elsewhere, is because short days up here during winter is not for me. This is getting there. I want to make a really simple blade out of this one, just because of the amount of weirdness in the material in this specific piece. The other ones I worked did not have too much of the weirdness. What other bushcraft do you practice? Pretty much all of it. when I get the chance. It's kind of hard to do like shelters and stuff because of people doing things in the woods. Really, it's people will not be too happy if you try to make a shelter in somewhere that's not your own property. Wow, that flake went crazy far. Look at that. Keep that. Get sketchy about the thinness here. It's looking pretty good to me. Try to clean up this limestone at the base a little more. It's not going. All the shards I showed on my other previous live, these little ones, I turn into blow dart, little tiny miniature arrowheads, and they work really good with the Tim Wells Slockmaster and the Tim Wells Fishhawk. They both work really good for fishing and small game. This stuff will go right through small game. Yep, that's pretty much exactly what they are. This spot is going to give me a problem. I hope not an awful one. Alright. So the base is the most dangerous spot to work. It could snap the point right in half. But sometimes you gotta thin it. So you gotta risk it. And that's all limestone in there, so that's not going as easy as it should. Thinned it a little. Needs to be thin to fit in the handle. Thin enough to fit in the handle, I should say. Hit a little too hard there. Once I got the basic shape of the blade, I switched to pressure flaking instead of indirect flaking. And I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I'm done thinning this. Alright, got the basic knife shape. This is a pressure flaker. It's a shorter version of the Ishi stick. Now I'm just shaping it, pressing little flakes off, and sharpening it. It's already sharp, but making it even sharper. Ancient people did this all over the world. They weren't using stone, they were using bone. I I would not cut wood with obsidian. It dulls super fast. Do when you're done here, do a search on my channel for obsidian versus chert cut test. And it should pop up. It's on my channel. I did a cut test on wood and stuff like that. This stuff works okay on wood, but you got to resharpen it. Like how I'm doing right now. As it gets dull, you just push these little flakes off and resharpen. As you're doing that, though, your blade gets smaller, so keep that in mind. Some weirdness in here. I don't want to mess with it. It's not going to affect the cutting any. Some messages and stuff. I don't know how to turn that off when I'm doing lives. See how that edge is serrated now? Makes it much sharper. Double tap the screen to like the video. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I'll put it at the start of videos or something. See that edge now? Crazy sharp. I have a lot of calluses, so it's not gonna instantly cut me, but you can see it. Cuts the calluses. Yeah, that's a good idea. The base is still kind of thick, but it should still fit on a handle. Just want to make it a little sharper. With stone, if you're using it for hunting, you're going to want it as sharp as possible. So I've gotten into the habit of really trying to keep my stuff sharp. Make the tip a little bit sharper, a little bit thinner. Okay. That little piece there, I could probably pick out later. Use like a sewing needle and pop it out. If you have like super skinny antler, don't know if I have my antler out here. Could also use, that's not antler, that's my wooden one. Where's antler? Here it is. So you could also use antler to do what I'm doing. You could also tie it to a stick and do the same thing with the antler. The antler creates a little bit wider flakes, and it actually kind of makes it sharper than the copper does, in my experience at least. Oh, and I have the, if any other nappers are watching that film, I have my battery pack here, Rock Pals. Keeps my phone charged and it recharges really easy. 250 watt multi-purpose power station, solar chargeable. I just have my USB plugged right into it. It's been really helpful for this kind of stuff. I think I'm going to do one more cut test on the bad piece of hide I have here. Let's see how it goes. Probably use some of that synthetic handle. Yeah, that would work. You know, this is the hardest part of doing these videos, is to try to do a cut test by myself here. Hold it under my leg. Okay. Let's see. It's cut in my hand too. Yeah. That's sharp enough. All right. I'll put this one in my pocket. For later. Let's see what else I got. A piece of Norman scale chert here. This stuff is holds together a little bit better. It's not as nice looking. Well, sometimes it is. But I really prefer the Onondaga, the last knife blade I was working on. That blue-gray material I like better, I think. I can't decide. It depends on the day. Really, this stuff is green and black. And just go through and make a quick spear point or something before the sun goes down here. Oop. This is also, I don't know if I said it or not, but this is also found in creeks in New York. It's a different type of chert. How many knives do you make? Lately I've been making as many as I can per day. If I have a big chunk of rock like this, I'll make a knife. But then all the little flakes that come off, I make arrowheads and spear points from the flakes that come off. Good night from the UK. Yeah, I'm going to be doing lives as much as I can, so just hit the subscribe and you should get notified. Should is the keyword. Yeah, I sell them on my Etsy shop. There should be a link on my channel. If you do buy one, specify if you're going to use it or not. Like if you want to use it for like fishing or hunting, because different, how do I put this? If you're using it for fishing, you're going to want it to be a different kind of knife than if you're using it for skinning squirrels. What do you use to hit it? It's in the product description. It's called a copper billet or a copper bopper. It's a copper cap filled with lead on a piece of wood. And everything I use, for the most part, in the video should be in that product list. And again, I'll show some of the knives I make. This one's kind of really big. If you're going to use it, you're going to want it to be like about that big. Not, because if you twist, it's likely to snap if you're going against bone and stuff like that. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, if you like this stuff, I do it pretty often, so subscribe. It's annoying. Alright, I'm just going to make a quick point here. I am losing light pretty quickly. So, question about where do I find the rocks? I find them in creeks. There's a lot in New York. I'm up in Vermont currently, and I'm still finding rocks in creeks. If you look at my long form videos, I have a whole huge series on how to find rocks for flint napping. It's called How to Find Flint. Should be a playlist. Yeah, it's fun. I really love doing it. I got started with it with doing archaeology in Connecticut. Found some stone tools that were thousands of years old, and really was like, how did ancient people make this stuff? This is amazing. So I started to get into it, and then following that, I started to get into the survival bushcraft stuff. And now I'm still at it. Oop. Oh, that's what I wanted to show. So speaking of the bushcraft survival stuff, I usually have a flint and steel striker on me. And I wanted to show this creek rock makes some pretty good sparks. So really good for not just flint and steel fire starting, but also for like muskets and stuff like that. Grab that point before I lose it. Just trying to make a really basic arrowhead here, but it's not cooperating. Hitting shale pockets. There we go. This edge here is way too thick. Let me check these comments. Gotta flip the phone around because I'm filming upside down. Let's see. Made me flip the phone around for that comment, really? Alright, gonna thin this down. Sharpen it up. If I get over 100,000 views on this video, which I may, I'll give this point away. I'll do a little giveaway contest. Perhaps. If it holds together. That's pretty good. A little thick. Gonna thin it down more. This side is kind of okay. It's got some cracks. That's all messed up in there. There we go. Now it's thinning. If you commented something and I didn't see it, leave it as a comment on the video, and I'll answer it after the live. If I didn't see your comment, I'm sorry. So I gotta thin that base a little. It's got some crud in there. Ooh. Shut up, goose. Apparently there's a goose over there. Nice. I'll flip this around again. Are you gonna use only twine to get it done, or will you also add tar resin? I use, it's called pine pitch glue. It's, this stuff right in here. This is usually how I haft the knives. I put this in the groove of the antler or wood, and then I put the blade in, and then I pack some on top to hold it all in. And this stays like this. This is like a rock now. Can't really pick that off. Yeah, this is my new hunting knife. If I even get around to hunting this season. I'm in the middle of moving pretty far. Flip this around. It will, but once you, the way I do it with like beeswax and stuff like that. If you reheat it too many times, it gets kind of brittle and doesn't work so good. I just use it once and that's it. Then make a fresh batch each time. Alright, I'm gonna finish this up. And if I did hit those kind of views, which it appears I might have, I will give one of these, at least one of these points away. Maybe in the next live. Just fixing the tip here. Trying to use antler. It's so tough on this stuff to use the antler. It's easier if you're using like obsidian. Yeah, I also have a bunch of arrows that I made this season, as well as my old arrows. If anybody's interested in the hunting content with this stuff, I used a point about half this size on a rabbit last season. If you type in rabbit hunt on my channel, it should pop right up. Broke the tip off. All right, I'm gonna fix that real quick. This is about the size of the arrowhead I killed the rabbit with. Now, that's what happens when you rush. Rushing because the light is going quickly. Starting to have trouble seeing out here. All right, this one is, I'm gonna give up on this one. So I think that's it for tonight for the napping. Flint napping. If you look in my cup holder right here, you'll see all the flakes I'm keeping. And all of those I'm gonna turn into arrowheads and blow darts and all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so again, if anybody is interested in starting this, there is, if you go into my product list, you'll see the beginner kit with all these tools. Some of them have rock that go with it. Do you use poison? No. Most of the time it's not legal, not here at least. Maybe if I go to another country sometime, they would allow that. But generally, you don't have to, even with those little points. The little tiny blow dart points. Tim Wells, who's a hunter, uses a blowgun. He killed a black bear with a little steel point that big. And that's actually on YouTube. You could go look that up. Tim Wells blowgun bear. You generally don't need to use poison if you're a good shot with the thing. I think he hit it right in the heart, if I remember correctly. All right, it's getting dark here. I'm gonna go in, make some dinner, maybe set a fire. Got a fire pit right over there. Set a fire and relax the rest of the night. You guys all have a good one. Hit the thumbs up. Double click is what people are telling me. Double click to hit the thumbs up. And hit the subscribe button and check out my other videos, because all the questions you're asking, I have so much content on my channel surrounding those questions. So have a good one, guys. See you soon. See ya.